Okay, welcome back to Bleach Anime Review episode number 15. Yes, for the first time ever since this series came back, I'm actually reviewing it on the day it comes out. And can you believe this is only the 4th episode of a 1,000-Year Blood War arc? Though this is also technically the 370th episode of the series, Kill the Shadow. It adapts one page from chapter 494 and goes through, that's page 19 by the way, it goes through the entirety of chapters 495 to 499. Starting with the next episode, we're going to 500s. Yes. Which means, as this episode, we have for this entire arc to be adapted, because the arc does wrap up with chapter 684, we have exactly 185 chapters left. Yep, 185 chapters, so 4 episodes. We've already technically covered exactly 25 chapters. Yeah. Actually, no, it was actually 30 chapters in just 4 episodes. Yep. So, there's a bunch of stuff going on here. Let's start with basically... Now, most of this episode is set in the Soul Society. There's a little bit with Ichigo. He doesn't pop up. You don't see him physically outside of the recap, until like the last 5 minutes of the episode. So we first continue off with the Quincy's invading the Soul Society, and they're pretty much just massacring Soul Reapers like crazy by the thousands of these by thousands. They're wiping out squads like crazy. We do see Rose in the episode. Rose, if you don't know who this guy is, he's the current captain of Squad 3. I believe this was not the squad he was part. This actually was the one who, I believe Gin was the captain of previously. Yes, Gin was his predecessor. He had resumed his post as the captain of Squad 3 after the events of the Rancor arc. Well, the Rancor saga per se. He was part of the Vizards. Yes. Rose was particularly a very weird particular character, given the fact he was somewhat flamboyant. That's how he was depicted originally in the anime. So, here he is here wearing a captain's robe, and it looks so weird on him. Though at least they kept the whole thing of having sort of like an ascot type of top, because the captains can pretty much design their all uniforms they wear, like, no question. Heck, there actually is some who basically, some of these soldiers walk around sleeveless, because they don't walk around sleeveless. And the thing is, whether if you're not a lieutenant or captain or any main name, if you're not a named character, you're pretty much cannon fodder. That's pretty much how excuse me, you're probably thinking, what was the anime's fault, the way the sword was treated in this episode? No, it is actually not Studio Pierrot's fault for this. If you want to put the blame on somebody for basically having the Swordbearers get wasted by the Quincy's that happened here, Tabata, it's his fault. He's the one who basically wrote the chapter, so put the blame on him, not Studio Pierrot for this. But hey, at least Rangiku finally appears. Outside a brief cameo in the last episode, here she actually gets some freaking lines. Now here's something though. Now you might be thinking, okay, does she... Yeah, here's a good question. Does she, in fact, keep her same voice actor? That's actually really a question. From what I can tell, she does. Yeah, she does. Megan Hassel does retain her role as, well, Rankiku. Yep. I am very happy the fact they kept her basically as the voice actor. Despite the fact I believe the actress is almost 60 now. Yeah, Megan Hassel. Let's see, how old is she currently? She is at the age of, let's see, she was born in 1968, so she is, what should be 60? Let's see, 50, that'd be 2018. I think she's like 54. If I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah, she's 54 years old, and I'm glad the fact she reprised her role as Rangiku, because it can't be Rangiku without her. It's one of the most best known characters, and I'm glad the fact Para basically retained her as the voice actress. In my opinion, smart move on their part. Yeah, very smart move. Yep. Though her role is basically by Toshiro's side, and you're probably thinking, does her captain of basically, does he retain his voice actor? Yes, he does. They actually do not change his voice actor at all. Nope, which I'm very happy with that, because that was one thing I think that this particular current season, per se, where some of the characters changed voice actors. As far as I can tell, the only one that did change was Chad's. His was the only one that did change. Everyone else pretty much maintained their voice actor, which, good in that part. Masaru Rangiku was there just to witness, basically, Toshiro go his Bankai form, battle the Quincy, and get his Quincy stolen. And then she informed pretty much everybody else about it. That was literally her role this episode. Renji, on her hand, actually freaking did something. You see him basically, like, using Hinamaru on the Quincy he was fighting. And then Byakuga shows up. Yes, Byakuga. First time he actually does something. Yeah, he briefly appeared last episode in a cameo. Here he finally does something. We see his regular Suku form and his Bankai, which gets stolen in the anime. Yep. And they even show the captain of Squad 6. See him battling a woman. Yes, battling a woman. And his Bankai gets stolen too. Also, Soifun gets her Bankai stolen as well. So basically, 4 captains get their sword, get their Quincy. So of course they said it was sealed. Nope, it was stolen. And this is confirmed by Toshiro. And of course Mariam is basically upset the fact they couldn't freaking wait. Because, well, the battle was going on. Like, nothing they could freaking do. Yep, and of course they had to fight without their Bankais. So, okay. So, by the way, the captain commander, he practically does nothing. He sits in his ruined office the whole episode. Doesn't do any fighting, despite the fact he's the strongest man in the Soul Society. Yeah, and he's actually one of he's actually one of the handful of named characters who is not one of the Quincy's or the main villain, mind you, who something bad happens to them. Now, some basically do supposedly die, but don't worry, they come back because it's Bleach. Though, how they come back is the most bizarre way possible. Yes, I will get to that eventually. Whenever the anime gets to it, of course. Yep. So basically, Ankai's got no choice but to contact Ichigo. Of course, he thinks Ichigo is in Karakura Town. Nope, he's in Wakamundo. Gets a phone call. Kitsuke picks up. He's like, "Oh, hi, Archon. How are you?" He's like, "Kitsuke? Where's Ichigo?" He's probably at Quincy right now. Which, okay, that is funny. Yeah, so funny. And then eventually he just, after fighting it for quite a while, and he just blows a hole in his freaking chest, and basically gets a phone, takes a phone call, comes straight to the Society, and then Kitsuke gets an arrow in the back, which goes right through Chad, and injures Orihime, and then the portal is simply sort of sewn by Quincy stuff, and each goes sort of concealed in this prison. And the other end is sealed too, and then the Quincy, who actually did it, he dies. But don't worry, he's not in this very long. I'm hoping he'll spend too much time in this thing. Excuse me, you're probably thinking, wait, why did they leave Ichigo for? They're the bad guys. They basically are smart when it comes to Ichigo. Because they know how freaking powerful he is. But also because he's the main character of the whole series. And delaying his arrival in the Soul Society basically is a way to basically make him angry. Yep. But man, what a damn good episode. I love it. Can't wait for next episode, which airs next week. And I pray to God this will continue, where I actually get a chance to review these episodes on the day they come out, not several days afterwards. I hope this can eventually stop, because this has been going on for the past month, and now I've finally been able to have my first series. I actually get a chance to review the day it comes out, which is awesome. Yep. But yeah, that's episode review. Next is going to be Comic Corner. And I'll probably wrap it up for this evening. If I would do more, to get a chance to watching some Super Snap, but I'll probably watch it tomorrow. Okay, next video. Bye.